A woman didn't know she was pregnant and gave birth at a golden corral. Scientists discover elephants refer to each other by names, and a police department apologized for the mock shooting that left high school students traumatized. These are the weird stories for Tuesday on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast in the galaxy. I'm your host, Jonesy, and I'm recording in a closet per usual. I got weird news for you. A lady didn't know she was pregnant and gave birth at a Golden Corral restaurant. You're probably wondering, how did she not know that she was pregnant all the way up to actually giving birth in that Golden Corral? Well, you need to know something about people that frequent Golden Corral restaurants. They're constantly feeling something moving around in their stomach. That's normal, as is the sudden weight gains. So she probably didn't know. This story's out of the state of Arkansas. People call it Arkansas. I call it Arkansas because it's not spelt with an S-A-W. It's spelt with an S-A-S. This Arkansas woman who did not know she was pregnant gave birth to a healthy baby boy at a Golden Corral restaurant and then named her baby after the franchise. I'm going to guess the baby's name is Golden. I know. That's going out on a limb. Guys, Jonesy, I'm a genius. You can't name your kid Corral. No, I don't even think people know what that means. Let's find out if she gave birth in the bathroom of the Golden Corral. If so, that wouldn't even be the 8th worst thing that's happened in a Golden Corral bathroom. We have here Tavia Woodfork is her name, and Tavia Woodfork and her family were visiting a Golden Corral restaurant in North Little Rock, Arkansas, when she told her family about some stomach pain that she was having. That is when 26-year-old Tavia excused herself to go to the restroom. Tavia's mother, Tamika Woodfork, went to check on her daughter after about 10 minutes. That's when she found Tavia in distress and crying in the bathroom because Tavia did not realize she was 37 weeks pregnant and in active labor in that moment in the Golden Corral bathroom. She's about to have a baby in a Golden Corral bathroom. Doesn't have the same ring as, I once got busy in a Burger King bathroom. I'm crazy. Tavia experienced what is called a cryptic pregnancy. Have you heard of cryptic pregnancy? Well, according to a clinic, a cryptic pregnancy is when a person is just not aware that they're pregnant. Tavia said she didn't experience any pregnancy signs, such as weight gain or feeling any sort of fetal movement. None of this stopped what was about to happen. Tavia gave birth in that Golden Corral bathroom. We call that a toilet baby. Good place to drop a baby, though, Golden Corral. I heard kids under 3 eat free, so you could just grab your baby and you both can go right to the buffet. Whoa, lady, I thought you said a party of one. This is a surprise. All right, after the paramedics arrived at the restaurant, Tavia gave birth to a healthy baby boy who weighed 6 pounds and 1 ounce. His name? Tamar Kylon Corral Woodfork. They used Corral in the name. I thought they would use Golden for sure. Golden's way cooler. You could imagine an NFL wide receiver named Golden Woodfork. Can you not? I mean, I can. According to the report, Tavia is also the mother to a 2-year-old. So it's not like she's unfamiliar with signs of pregnancy, but this was a cryptic pregnancy, as they say. I've covered a few stories about women giving birth in bathrooms at various institutions, not knowing they were pregnant until the very end, and I was always surprised by this. I said, how could they not know? And then, I've done some further research, and apparently this happens. People don't know till the very end. It seems weird, but, it's not common, but it does happen once in a while. Now, the Golden Corral was very pleased. They posted a photo of the newborn saying, "It's a boy. Please join us in welcoming Tamar Kylon Corral Woodfork," who was so excited that his mother was dining at Golden Corral that he decided to join her. He was just born in our Golden Corral in North Little Rock, Arkansas. Is he going to be eating for free for the rest of his life at your branch? I'd like to know that. Shouldn't they give him a free pass? You got to give it up for the kid. I mean, it's going to be tough stuff. Imagine finding out that you were born in a Golden Corral bathroom. Where are they going to baptize him? In a Bass Pro Shop fish tank for the win? Hey! Jokes, guys. I'm just joking around. But let's get serious for a moment. I really want to have us all gather, and we should really have a moment of silence for the poor janitor that had to clean up the Golden Corral bathroom following a birthing in a stall. Oh, that janitor definitely earning his ducats or her ducats or whatever kind of entity cleans the bathroom there. Scientists have discovered that elephants may refer to each other by name. It's the sound of science. It's the sound of science. Aren't you glad I can't sing today because of my throat? I usually sing that. The article says lots of animals communicate with one another, from tiny mice to big whales. None of these animals can communicate even a small fraction of the richness of what we have in the human language department. Still, finding new examples of complex communications in the animal kingdom can tell us things about the evolution of language and what cognitive capabilities are needed for it to flourish. Last week, researchers reported what may be the first instance of a human-like language ability in another species. They have evidence that suggests that elephants refer to each other by individual names. Isn't that crazy? Referring to each other by individual names. They're going to dive in and do a larger study. But signs are that this very intelligent creature, which we knew was very smart already, elephants even get together and socialize. They'll just get together and gather as a social interaction, not for feeding or any other purpose. So we'll learn more about this. I find it very fascinating. I'm not really surprised. I would have thought dolphins as well, maybe. Yeah. It says, we use names to refer to each other so often that it's possible to forget just how involved their use is. We recognize formal and informal names that refer to the same individual, even though those names often have nothing to do with the features or the history of that individual. We easily handle hundreds of names, including those of people we haven't interacted with in decades, and we do this in parallel with the names of thousands of places, products, items, and so on. And as far as we've known, there's very little like that capacity in the animal world. Scientists were already looking into the elephants possibly having names for one another, because if you had to pick a species that might have a use for names, elephants would be high on the list. They're long-lived, have complex social interactions, and are already known to communicate using low rumbles. We know they have distinct calls used in some specific social contexts as well. So, team of researchers at Colorado State University collaborated with groups in Kenya involved in elephant conservation to test whether they might refer to one another via something similar to a name. The researchers worked with recordings of elephant calls made in 3 distinct social contexts. One was a contact call made when a group member is far enough away that they are no longer visible and was used to reestablish contact. A second, a greeting call, which is made when an individual approaches another. The third, a caregiving call given to young offspring within the group. Calls were used for analysis if the researchers could clearly identify a recipient of the call. Now, a few paragraphs on the technical aspects of this. But let's cut down to where the researchers say critically the elephants seemed to know when they were being communicated with. The researchers played calls to 17 different wild elephants, some that had originally been addressed to them and others that targeted some other elephant. When they heard a call that targeted them, played by a speaker and divorced from any social context, the elephants were quicker to approach the speaker and call out in return, and they made more vocalizations as well. They're going to do a larger study, of course. It's needed, clearly, to get further evidence, but if the evidence builds for elephants using actual names, it will be a valuable finding. There are roughly 100 million years of evolution between humans and elephants, meaning we last shared a common ancestor about 30 million years before dinosaurs went extinct. And there are a lot of species between us that don't engage in sophisticated communications. So any capabilities in this regard almost certainly evolved separately. That could help scientists identify the social factors that help select for this name-calling communications behavior. Well, now this is very cool, I think. Elephants are just amazing creatures, one of my favorite animals. And they're endangered all over the world, sadly. And so this is just more evidence for why we need to make sure we have conservation efforts with particular animals. We're not going to be able to conserve all of the animals, not with humans pulling the levers on this planet. I mean, everybody's endangered, right? But there's a few that you really got to do your best to make sure they don't disappear off the face of this planet. The smartest ones in particular, whales, dolphins, elephants. So this is really cool, and I hope more people read this and learn how sophisticated and intelligent these animals are so that we can all get on board in making sure that they don't go extinct. Oh, also, bumblebees. We need to do everything we can for the bees, guys, because our food depends on that. So protect the bees at all costs. Also, Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle should be protected at all costs as well. Yay! Police terrified high school students with a mock shooting. This story is out of Burlington, Vermont. Burlington police officers staged a surprise demonstration in which a masked gunman burst into the room and pretended to open fire on the high school students. I guess they're trying to prepare them for an active shooter, but you definitely prepared them now. They already have PTSD, so they're good to go, guys. Bring on the therapy. Wow. Sometimes I wonder if I'm living in some sort of surrealistic Kurt Vonnegut novel. It does seem that way, doesn't it? The simulation occurred at the Burlington police station. It was meant to show the unreliability of witness statements, but the lack of warning and the loud gunshot sounds sent the high school students diving for cover in fear for their own lives during the simulation. In response, the Burlington School District apologized to the parents and offered counseling services. Wow. This is really, really dumb. Now, it says here, following the demonstration, parents expressed their shock and outrage, saying this activity played on the fears of students who have grown up amid a nationwide increase in violence in their schools. Here's a quote from one mother. "I'm baffled. It is a very real threat to kids these days to have a school shooting. It's something they all worry about." Yeah, I mean, sadly, this mother's correct. Everyone's worrying about that. All children of all ages are probably worrying about this when they go to school. What sort of dangers might await them, sadly, in this day and age. And if you're going to communicate this and prepare them, I don't know, it just seems like there's another way to go about it rather than this bonehead procedure. But let's keep reading. The incident unfolded during what they're calling a forensics class that was offered through Burlington High School's annual year-end studies program. The roughly 20 students in attendance were told that they would tour the police department and see a presentation on how detectives solve crimes. So they weren't even there for anything remotely like this. They were like, we're going to show you, want to meet the detectives and meet the chief? We're going to show you how we solve crimes. And then it's like, run for cover, kids. Two students who spoke on the condition of anonymity said that the class was facing the front of the room listening to a detective speak to them when they heard screams from behind them. Two women ran in, the students said, followed by a man wearing a ski mask who was holding a gun. Then gunshot sounds rang out. One of the students said she dove onto the floor, scraping her knees. The other said she scrambled to find her phone so that she could text her mother. Here's a quote from that student. "I'm shaking and crying because I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to get shot. It felt so real." Now, the students say they weren't told about this particular part of the tour or the demonstration ahead of time. They realized it was fake only after noticing that the cops in the room had done nothing to stop the pretend shooter. Wait, that doesn't mean it's fake. That could be real. I mean, cops be standing around when this stuff goes down, right? I mean, that's what we've heard. Now, it says here the Burlington School District officials confirmed the demonstration did occur. And they made a statement that teachers knew officers might demonstrate a gunshot-related crime, but not that it would happen without any warning. So it sounds like perhaps the police department's very much to blame because they didn't warn them. Although maybe they told the teachers, but the teachers forgot, or there's a lack of communication between the school administrators and the actual police officers there, clearly. In an email to parents obtained by the media, teachers say officers told them that they'd previously used the lesson with college students and adults and that they wanted the event to be as realistic as possible. The detectives did apologize after they realized that the reenactment did not translate well to the high school students present. Yeah, we just want to say to the students, We're so sorry that we traumatized you by playing cops and robbers instead of shooting a black teenager for no reason in front of you. Yay! Come on, hear the news and hear it. Come on, hear the news and hear it. Come on. It's the Weird News. Come on. It's the Weird News Podcast. Hi, my friends. How you doing? It's your host, Jonesy. Still under the weather with a sore throat, etc., but feeling really good because my Celtics won the NBA championship last night. Jonesy did a little drinking last night as well, which is probably contributing to my level of energy right now. Something you'll have to deal with following any Boston-related championships. Anyways, I'm in a great place right now. So, shout out to the Boston Celtics, a team that I just live for. You know, I bleed green, guys. I bleed green, as I've said many times. Listen, I want to also thank everyone who sent me emails and whatnot. I have few listeners reach out and congratulate me on my Celtics victory, which was pretty cool. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. I'm very, very proud and very, very pleased. I'm a proud papa. Anyways, if you guys want to email me or call the show, we got funnyjones@gmail.com. The phone number is 646-450-2012. I got a website here. It's weirdafnews.com. That's where you can go support the show by joining the Patreon or buying Jonesy a victory coffee. I'll probably spend it on beer. But yeah, you can buy me a coffee over there as well. And I'm going to keep it super brief, man, because I got to probably go back to bed. I love you. And good luck with your brain, man.